I'm going to dress as Elvira for Halloween. I'm just going to need some lipstick and a black wig and a nice black dress and nail polish and two big pumpkins. I'm gonna need two big pumpkins for Halloween. Hi everybody, welcome to Real Rebel. Today I'm going to talk about the cult classic Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. This was a requested movie and I'm so excited to share my thoughts on it. I watched it the other day. So what is a cult classic? It's basically a movie that's, critically panned, doesn't do well at the box office, and then it just kind of falls out of the theaters, but it's rediscovered by people who watch it and they appreciate it, and then it gains a following and people start watching it, and then it kind of becomes like a special group of people who just understand the movie. A perfect example of a cult movie is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It also bombed at the theater, wasn't liked by the critics, kind of fell into obscurity, but then it was discovered when it was shown at midnight at theaters, and it's become a huge phenomenon. So Elvira is this character who, she had her own TV show and they decided to make a movie based on Elvira, and she's basically this character who introduces and talks about these bad B horror films. And so if you've ever heard of Svengoolie or Joe Bob Briggs, they basically do the same thing. There was also the fictional character who did this. He was Count Floyd and he was on SCTV. So the movie starts out with Elvira talking about one of these films, but her dream is to become a Vegas showgirl. And she needs $50,000 to do this. She has no money, but then as luck would have it, she gets a phone call that a long-lost aunt has passed away and has left her an inheritance. So she goes to a small town in Massachusetts and immediately sticks out like a sore thumb because she's scantily clad and she looks different from everybody else. The women are insanely jealous of her and they reject her. The men kind of go along with the women. Well, hello. Do you want to join the video? Come here. Here's my little Ashley. You gonna say hi? Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see if he'll stay on my lap. He's just gonna run around and meow. But, so she finds out that her aunt has left her house, and kind of bummed out, Elvira just kind of takes residence in this house, hoping to sell it at some point. And the teenagers in the town really take a liking to Elvira, so they try to help her out. They help her paint the house in a very comical fashion. She tries to get a job there, but no one is hiring her. There's one of the villains of the piece is the secretary from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, well, with your bad knee, you shouldn't throw anybody. It's true. That one, she plays a character. I love her character name. Her character's name is Chastity Pariah, and she's awful, and she hates Elvira, and basically the town decides to not hire her for any work, except there is one man who's very shy around Elvira, and she really likes him and he likes her, but he likes her because of who she is, not so much like what she looks like, and so she respects that. Hey Bubba. Ashley, you good boy? Yeah. Also, there's this also very evil villain who is Elvira's uncle, who is the brother of her aunt who passed away, and he is, unbeknownst to anyone, the town warlock. So he's basically like a male witch. So I can't look at this guy without thinking a few things. First, he's got a glass eye, and also he looks like a cross between Richard Dawson, who hosted Family Feud, and Robert Vaughn, who was in another favorite Halloween movie of mine, Transylvania Twist, and he was the villain in Superman 3. So basically, Elvira is, she's just trying to make her way through. She's trying to sell the house and try to make her way to Vegas eventually. She really likes this man who's in the town. The teenagers love her, and she kind of helps them come out of their shells. And she also has this evil uncle that she needs to defeat by the end of the movie. It's great fun. I especially like the opening sequence where she's driving her convertible car that's just totally decked out and all this gothic stuff. And I think that the actress who plays Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, I believe she still has this car. So I love this movie, and I asked the person who requested the movie, what was it that he really enjoyed about Elvira, Mistress of the Dark? So number one, he said that her comedic style was like nothing he had ever seen before. It was so unique. A gothic valley girl. So she goes around, she's got this, black wig on, she's very pale and has, bright red lipstick and nails, and, she's just, she's this beautiful gothic looking woman, but she talks like, oh my God, really? It's kind of ironic the way she talks. It definitely grabs your attention. And Elvira delivers great one-liners. This is what the person who requested this movie said, and also I noticed it too when I first saw this movie maybe 10 years ago, and it just made me laugh out loud. Like, for example, the Chastity Pariah character, she comes out of a salon, and the first time she sees Elvira coming to their town, she's got these big rollers on her head, and she just looks at Elvira and goes, well, I never, and Elvira says, and you never will with those big cans on your head. So his favorite specific moment in Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, was her speech in the bowling alley. She's guilt-tripping these teenagers into coming to her show, because she's going to perform a show at the local theater. She says, but if they ever ask about me, tell them I was more than just a great set of boobs. I was also an incredible pair of legs. And tell them that I never turned down a friend. I never turned down a stranger, for that matter. And tell them that when it's all said and done, I only ask that people remember me by two simple words. Any two. As long as they're simple. I think she exudes so much confidence. It's just, it's really tough not to like Elvira. I think he explains it really, really well. That as a closeted gay boy growing up in small town rural America, like the town that Elvira was in the film, and being constantly bullied for being different, like Elvira was, there was something almost inspirational about the movie and about watching her overcome her situation with humor and sass and literal magic. It gave me hope that I'd make it out too, and I'd be okay, that I was okay just as I was. I kind of felt seen and affirmed by her. Plus, at the end, she gets the cutest boy in all the land, Bob. Bob. The sigh. I think that's perfect. I love that so much. I can totally see as a young person to see Elvira just completely proud of who she is, getting rejected and getting bullied and harassed by these people, and still coming out of it with humor and still loving herself and making it to Vegas and doing her great show. It's just, I love that so much. I had a similar experience with, Rocky Horror Picture Show and David Bowie. I certainly wasn't a mainstream kid by any means, and seeing those things made me feel like I was okay. It's okay to be different, and you know what? It's pretty cool too. You know what? I'm gonna give Elvira 4 cat paws. Yeah, that's right. Yay! Bye! And tell him that when it's all said and done, I ask that people only, I'll never be as good as Elvira.